Time now for news from across China. The country's top legislative body has passed a newly revised environmental protection law. CCTV's Pan Dong joins us live from Beijing with reaction.
Well, thank you very much, Mike. You're right. You cannot overemphasize the importance of this revised environmental protection law, and it's the law's first revision in 25 years. More importantly, it's a major action after China's new leadership declared a war on pollution shortly after it took power in 2013. The new law significantly toughens penalties for environmental offenses, and for polluters ignore warnings. Companies will be publicly exposed for breaking environmental protection laws, and those responsible could face up to 15 days of detention if they ignore calls to suspend production after being issued a ban. And it has specific articles and provisions for tackling smog, raising public awareness, and protecting whistleblowers. And for more insight into this new law, we're joined by Professor Cao Deming from the China University of Political Science and Law. Thank you very much for joining us, Professor Cao. We know that this new law comes at a time that China's environment is fragile than ever. Of many environmental issues the country faces, let's start with a specific one, that is soil contamination. A recent report says that 1/5 of the country's soil is heavily contaminated. Do you think the situation is really that bad? And if it is, how will that affect people's health?
Yes, the soil contamination in China is very severe, mainly from the pesticide and chemical fertilizer. It affects food safety and drinking water quality. As a result, it affects human health.
So let's talk about enforcement, Professor. We know that new law will take effect next year. Do you think it's tough enough to contain polluters and enlighten policymakers at various levels?
Yes, it will be a powerful weapon to deal with environmental pollution in China. Yet, the effectiveness of the new law will depend on the compliance and enforcement of polluters, especially depends on the enforcement from environmental protection agencies and local governments, and also judicial branches.
Well, thank you very much indeed. That was Professor Cao Deming from the China University of Political Science and Law.